Okay, so this is perfect timing because I'm working on this and I know that I was talking about this yesterday in my blog. So I want you to see this because this is what happens. It's not me, it's someone else that's on my computer at the same time. Check it out. Watch this. It's there someone is literally, look, I'm moving it. You see that? There's like two. And this happens all the time. And then like later on I'll come back to my blog and I'm like, why is things rewrote? It doesn't make sense. So even as I'm moving this, this is what it's doing. So I'm recording this to show, look. You see? So it's like duplicated. It's so weird. So it happens all the time though when I'm on my blog because, like I said, I've been targeted for a long, long, long time. So this goes on. Like sometimes I'm on my phone and it clicks on things it shouldn't. It goes places it shouldn't. It will not go where I want it to. It calls people. Literally, my devices always seem to have this problem. So it's every time. So I'm going to leave this page because I'm sure it hasn't saved anyway. So now I'm going to have to go back and fix some things again. But you see, now it's back to normal. So somebody else was, on there playing around with it while I'm, doing what I'm doing. So I have to go back and again figure out what was not saved. And actually it was a lot that I see now here. Because, let's go, I'm going to just show you here. Alright, I'll have to go back, but, let me just add another link. So I put this in. This is independent radio in a democracy. I was just watching this really interesting piece, and it was here, and I'm gonna go over that a little bit later on today, but, so, that's what happens. It's constant. It's all the time. So when my stuff looks like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you're intellectually challenged, well, it's really not that. Although sometimes I am intellectually challenged, I am not retarded and I don't, purposely put this stuff out there and then find out later on, oh, you know what? It's fixing itself again. So, because there is a lot of repetition in here already and I'm going, why is, that happening? So I even had, these were actually not only highlighted, but I had described, fully what that was. And, there's much more. So that was put on here. So it's interesting when you see that there is a repeat here or anything like that on my blog. Forgive me, it's not me. It is whatever's going on with this device. The algorithm does not like what I do whenever I'm on the computer. But that's been that way for, 10 years. I used to think I was crazy. Like, oh my gosh, why does this stuff always happen to me? My phones always get broken. One year I went through 12 phones. But that was someone trying to also sabotage the things that I was doing because, they wanted to get rid of me, and that was their way of doing things against me. They were like, okay, destroy everything she has. Eventually, she'll give up. Well, they were right for a while. It did kind of work for a while, and I about lost myself in the ignorant things that happen. But anyways, my little guy over here he's playing. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. He's just absolutely adorable. So, anyways, gosh, I just showed you the laundry mess of the kids, but they work all day, so, and all week. So, anyways, it is what it is. So when you guys see mistakes, it's not me, people. It's not me. I do try to go back and redo this, but if you can imagine keeping a headache, I've had a headache for 8 months. And right now, I do not have the headache. Thank you, Jesus. But when I go without one for most of the day, about 2 o'clock, I have to take something. And then I continue on through the rest of the day with taking things to try to keep me being okay. And I don't have anyone to go to the hospital with me because 9 times out of 10, about 5 days a week, I probably should be in the hospital. Something comes over me and, it's a fever, slight fever. And I've been to the doctor 1,000,001 times, but guess what? They don't just target one portion of your life like the computer. They target every portion of your life. So I'm battling that right now. If I were somebody else, hey, I'd get in there and they would take care of me. I'd go in, my high blood pressure. You're talking sweat 7 months in a row. And it took them 8 actually. And I'm going into the doctor 2 and 3 times and they're checking my blood pressure. And it takes them until the 9th or 8th month to go ahead and say, you know what, we probably should get your blood pressure under control, which I've already been on blood pressure pills, but for the longest. But when you're in a lot of pain and you're dealing with illnesses, well, that's what happens. Your blood pressure goes higher. And instead of them, helping me and going, hey, we need to get this under the control within the first, 2 or 3 months where I'm saying, I got all these issues. No, it takes 9 months. And I had to call a caseworker to come into my life in order to assist me to, talk to these people because that's what they do, That is a part of the system. So it's awful hard to deal with sometimes. You know what I mean? Going back and redoing this and redoing it and redoing it, it gets a little frustrating. And then like last night I got on here and I was like, why is everything freaking duplicated? Like I did not do that. Why is it duplicated? Of course, I had a headache last night too, so I surely didn't want to deal with it. But here we are, I'm fixing it. So if you come in here and you see duplicates, hey, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, people. And I try to keep it together. So ciphertexts, texts.blogspot.com is where you'll find the entire text and the link to the second text for the marvelous underground journey of Baron Trump. There is also some listed on my carmensloved.blogspot.com. And, most of my testimony is there too. So there's a lot of mistakes, but mistakes that were not purposely made. All right. I just thought I'd go ahead. I've been I always document everything. So I have a plethora of times that this has happened amongst the other 1,001 times that things are happening. And what those things are, and then, my health and all that stuff like that. But I have not been really out telling my testimony, and I just feel really moved in my spirit to do so because I know that time is short. And so I thank everyone for, listening, tuning in. And if you haven't already, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Take care, take charge, and God bless each and every one of you.